More than 5,000 tenders were analyzed in Russian public procurement as well as research and development activity at several Russian institutions. Reuters. Russia is returning to the Soviet-era development of a deadly Ebola-smallpox virus mix, according to a report by a Ukrainian delegation to NATO Parliamentary Assembly. Ukrainian delegation head Irina Friz presented the corresponding report highlighting research and development efforts of Russian experts in biological and chemical weapons at the meeting of the NATO PA Committee on the Civil Dimension of Security in Warsaw. According to the press service of the BPP faction, for at least the last 3 years, Russia has been conducting research on hemorrhagic fever viruses, in particular, Ebola and Marburg, claiming they are trying to develop vaccines. In fact, it's about their returning to a Soviet project of an Ebola and smallpox virus mix, which is confirmed by the analysis of more than 5,000 tenders in public procurement and scientific activity of several Russian institutions managed by the Russian Defense Ministry. At the same time, another research organization has been actively ordering and conducting studies indicating development of new military-type poisonous substances with nerve gas properties. The corresponding report was handed over to the alliance's headquarters, Friz said. Read also poisoned ex-Ukraine leader warns of Russia's medieval policy. The deputy believes that, taking into account the recent report by Lord Jopling, UK, it is necessary to also brief NATO PA members on the report, focusing on the issue of chemical and biological weapons of mass destruction. I do not exclude the prospect of this aspect being included in Lord Jopling's final report as another threat in the framework of Russia's hybrid efforts against other states, added Friz. As UNIAN reported earlier, Lord Jopling presented at NATO PA a report titled 2018 Countering Russia's Hybrid Threats, an update, providing a systemic analysis of a wide spectrum of hybrid threats coming from Russia. The report presents rather clearly a map of the hybrid war Russia is waging against Ukraine, as well as the means to counter the threat with NATO help, Friz wrote. She also recalled Lord Jopling's call for the Western countries to do their utmost to strip Russian plutocrats of opportunities to hide their dirty money in the West. If you see a spelling error on our site, select it and press Ctrl Enter. Latest news 2200 Russia reports more casualties in Syria campaign. 1640 Spectacular action held in New York in support of Oleh Sentsov. 1410 Two troops of SBU's Alpha unit killed in Donbas shelling. 10 o'clock $4 BLN in debts this year. 2057 Ukraine sees $788.50 MLN budget deficit in 4 months. 1959 EU calls on Russia to acknowledge responsibility for MH17. 1757 Some 270 relatives of Dutch MH17. Congress approves $250 MLN in military aid to Ukraine. 1017 Reuters. Oil prices fall as Russia warns of gradual output increase. 855 NBU weakens official forex rate to 26 Ukrainian hryvnias and 10 kopecks to $3.51. UN peacekeepers should banks' assets grow by almost $13 BLN in April. NBU 1420 Ukraine exports almost 36 million tons of grain as of May 23, 1354. Lomachenko gives up WBO 130 title, remains at lightweight. Media 1322 Poroshenko meets with